What's up, y'all? Malcolm Breed here from How to Barbecue Right. When you're in the Chattanooga area and you're looking for barbecue supplies, you got to check out my buddy Steve's Owl's Nest Barbecue Supply. And Steve and his staff have all your outdoor grilling, smoking, live fire, cooking supplies. You can find my Killer Hog stuff there, plus a ton of other cool stuff. So y'all stop in and see Steve. Tell him Malcolm sent you.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3,
You know, Pete, there's just something about charcoal, you know what?
Hey, nothing like the smell, the taste, the flavor, everything about charcoal is amazing. I actually think that's where we're back to, Steve. People are starting to enjoy charcoal again like they used to, and it's a craze.
It's such a good smell. The flavor can't be beat.
By the way, you know what I love about this? Is the handle. You know, this one pulls to the side. And I love that about that.
Yeah, it gets out of the way, and you don't have to reach over the flame.
Right.
The Napoleon kettle, you need to get one. Hey, what's that? How about that?
Nice.
The Napoleon kettle. You need to get one. Hey, I'm Steve. That's Pete. You're watching the Owl's Nest Barbecue Supply catch-up show Tuesday night, 7 o'clock. And we've got a fun guest for you, don't we?
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't we? We've got a fun guest coming up, Mark Hopkins, affectionately known here in Chattanooga as Hoppy, and everybody knows Hoppy, and he's going to be joining us in just a few minutes. We are the place where you catch up on all the barbecue news and all the stuff going on at the Owl's Nest Barbecue Store down right there in the middle, in the heart of Ooltewah. You can follow us on Facebook, subscribe to us on YouTube, and you can listen to the show anytime in podcast form on Spotify. Have you done that yet, Pete? Have you tried to listen to it on the podcast?
I have.
That's a cool thing.
Yeah, I actually the other day, Connie and I was showing her. She didn't realize it was on there either.
Yeah. So just go to Spotify, go to the Owl's Nest Barbecue Show with Steve Ray, and you can pick it up on podcast. Great listening if you're driving around. We're brought to you by Pit Barrel Cookers, the best drum cooker in the United States. We're also brought to you by the entire lineup of Green Mountain Grills. Pete, you saw that big load of grills we got in last week.
Yeah, you know, there's a couple of them sold already before they came in. So that was nice.
Yeah, that was real nice. But we've got plenty in stock. We're brought to you by Blackstone Griddles, in stock now. We're going to talk a little bit about those in just a minute. And we're brought to you by, as you saw, the best kettle grill on the market, the Napoleon Kettle Grill. Just super fun to cook with. If you're into charcoal, like Pete and I are right now, you'll love the Napoleon Kettle Grill. See, what was I was gonna say Mark Hopkins, Hoppy coming up, and Pete, the Blackstone Griddle. We cooked on that thing Saturday. We did those hot dogs on it.
Yeah.
And what fun.
Yeah.
You talk about a fun thing to cook on.
I'll be honest with you. I was amazed that once you set that thing, the heat, pretty much you can keep it even all the way across. Yeah. You can keep it cool over here. I mean, there's so many variables on how you can utilize that thing. It's nice.
And we did hot dogs on them, and we threw the water to them, and we steamed them like they do up there at Coney Island. That's how they cook those Nathan's hot dogs up there. They put them on that griddle, and they steam those things and cook them on the griddle. And if you haven't really, you know, the thing about the grill, almost everybody's got one now. And if you want to take a look at them, come on back. I've got one out front now that we can crank up. It doesn't take anything to get it started. If you want to see how one works, anytime, just come by the store. We can start it up. We can throw a couple hot dogs on there, and you can get a demonstration. Plus, get something good to eat, Pete.
And we're willing to do that with the Napoleon kettle as well.
Yeah, absolutely. If you want to come by Saturday, if you want to bring something and you want to cook it, we'll fire it up and let you cook it on there, and we can demo it for you and let you use it. Now, who else is doing that? No, there's nobody doing
I
that.
tell everybody that comes in, hey, bring your meat. We'll teach you how to, if you've never done a brisket, we'll teach you how to trim it. We'll talk to you about what you need to do to prep it, cook it. So yeah, you can't go anywhere and get that.
Exactly right. Hey, just got this in too. This is really cool. The sous vide gun, $189.95. This is that gun that you've seen probably somewhere on the internet where you hook a miniature LP canister to the bottom of it, and you can actually sear a steak with it, or you can start your charcoal grill with it. And we've got them in stock now, $189.95. And I know that's expensive, but Pete, on the Grill Blazer website, this exact product right here is $215. We've got it on sale for $189. We've got 10 of these in stock, and when you come by in the morning, we're going to fire one up.
Good. And that's just one of the few things you continue to add to your list of new items that people can come in and get at the store, Steve. I'll tell you, you got a lot of stuff in there now.
Absolutely, we do. And I also want to remind everybody, Tuesday through Saturdays, from 11 until 2 every day, Tuesday through Saturday, the Knot Hole is open. That's the little kitchen we've got at Owl's Nest Barbecue. Pete ran it all last week, did a great job, and I was back behind the counter today cooking the hot dogs. We did brisket, and we did pulled pork. We're gonna do brisket again tomorrow, and everybody likes our brisket, Pete. And I tell you right now, I'm gonna do my best to have brisket every day now. Remember last year?
People love it. People love it. Now, it'll wear you out. I don't think people realize what it takes to cook.
I got a system. I got a system down though. I can do it while I'm awake. I've got the system. And you know what's so great about my system? You're part of it. So we've got a system now. Pete's going to be part of it, and we'll have brisket every day. And that's a good thing. And that's a real good thing. When we come back from this break, our friend Mark Hopkins is known as Hoppy. He's going to be with us. And so stay tuned. You're watching the Owl's Nest Barbecue Catch-Up Show with Steve Ray, Pete Branton, and our special guest, Mark Hopkins. So stay with us.
I just ate one of these smoky owl dogs at Midnight Oil, Steve Ray's Midnight Oil in Ooltewah. That is the best hot dog I believe I've ever eaten. You should come down and try one.
Yeah, there's nothing like a good smoky owl dog. And all the way from, I believe, North Chattanooga, there he is. Hoppy, how are you?
I'm doing great, guys. How are you? It's actually Hickson now. I moved out of North Chattanooga.
Okay, well, coming to you live from you're on the other side of the river, my friend.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that river divides us.
The one they've been going to build a road on forever.
The road from Ooltewah
to
from Ooltewah to Saudi.
Yeah.
The toll bridge.
Yep.
They're going to build the toll bridge right after they build the bypass, the one they've been talking about. You've heard about that one, haven't you, Hoppy?
It took them, 40 years to build 27 up through to Sequoia in that area. So y'all are still early in the time frame here.
Well, let's see. It took them, 1936, 37 to 1980, maybe 1986, to add the second lane across the dam. Remember the dam?
That's true.
When I moved here in
going
81,
to see my grandmother.
Yeah, there was only one lane going over the dam, going both ways, one lane.
And that traffic would back up to Highway 58.
Oh, it was terrible. Well, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great. Doing great. Had a great summer.
Tell us how things are going down at your store in North Chat.
The market is good. We put in a little 7-seat lunch counter and got a draft box with got about 6 on tap, and then an extra cooler just for Guinness itself, and it's becoming a little neighborhood hangout, which is all you can ask for.
It's pretty neat. I told Steve when we came by, man, that's a nice little place, nice little corner place. If I lived there, you'd have to run me out every day.
That's I have several customers like that, and we run them out every night. Lifeblood of a good business.
Pete and I made a special trip all the way to North Chattanooga from Ooltewah just to see you. And people think,
that's right. The gas was down.
And people think that's a big deal. But if you know anything about Chattanooga, you know, when you cross over, when you go down that interstate, you don't know if you're going to get back or not.
I'm looking forward to that time when but the problem is once they finish it, it's still going to go to 3 lanes going down through the ridge cut. So it's still going to be not perfect, but it's going to be so much better than it was.
Yeah. It'll open up eventually quicker than what it was before too.
Yeah. And it was the crossover and it just having 2 lanes from 75 north going to 24 into 2 lanes, that'll remove a lot of that congestion. And they've fixed all those crazy crossover exit entrances. And I think you get one on and one off basically, and then you're on the frontage road. So hopefully it'll make that traffic move a lot quicker through the heart of Brainerd.
It won't. It'll never flood. Because they got the ridge cut. And that ridge cut, there's nothing they can do with that ridge cut. There's nothing. They can't even do
They've got a plan. They've got a plan.
And yes, so do I. Hey, reason I wanted you to come on tonight, Hoppy, was I was listening to our favorite radio station, Talk Radio 102.3 with Jed Mescon and Jim Reynolds and Natalie Gard. And I was listening, and lo and behold, you were telling them about going to the 4th of July Nathan's famous hot dog eating contest in Coney Island. And I was just a flush with jealousy when I heard that, because that has been on my bucket list for so long. So what I wanted you to do tonight was come on and give us a feeling of what it's like watching the Nathan's famous hot dog eating contest.
I will be glad to do it. We had it came up, and my wife said, do you want to come up and visit me in New York over for the weekend? She was up there doing a favor for some friends of ours, and so I said sure. Flew up there, and I'd already seen the Masters. I had a ticket for Sunday for the Masters this year, and I figured what could top that, and it was the Coney Island Nathan's hot dog eating contest was the only thing I think could top the Masters on Sunday. So we went out there. Interesting drive. It's all the way out there at the end of the water's edge out there in Brooklyn, and we were coming from Princeton, so it took us about an hour and a half to get there. And you think Atlanta drivers are bad? Oh my God! New York, New Jersey drivers. I mean, I think everybody there has a car that has at least one corner that's damaged. Some of them have both 2 corners that are damaged, but these people drive like maniacs.
They're tough, aren't they?
But we get there, we get really close, and we're looking for a place to park, and there's, it's expensive. So we find a lot with a bunch of Russians on it for $50. And we pull in, and we leave the keys in the car, and they're shuffling cars all around. And we get back there when we got ready to leave, and, they couldn't find our car. Then all of a sudden it showed up. So I don't, everything was where we left it. That turned out, I was a little suspect. But we park in that lot. We're a block and a half away. We walk down and turn the corner, and Nathan's is on the next block, and they've got the streets are blocked off. And so what I figured in the past was the crowds had just filled the street, and so all the shop owners were complaining because this year they had metal barriers along the sidewalk. So if you were walking on the sidewalk, you could go into the stores. But if you wanted to watch the event, you had to get out into the middle of the street in between the barriers. And then the police had left a lane for cop traffic in case there was an emergency.
Mm-hmm.
So they had it blocked off past Nathan's, in front of Nathan's, and then directly across from where they do the competition. So Nathan's is kind of in the middle of the block, and there's a parking lot to the, if you're looking at it head on to the left of it, and so that's where the stage is for all the contestants. And then on that little side street, they have grandstands set up. So when you're watching it and you're seeing the people watching it, there's a grandstand set up. But then the vast majority of the crowd is out in the street all around it. We were in a Chinese restaurant on the second floor, about a half block away. So we, could see everything. They've got a big screen TV.
Oh, so you were actually inside a restaurant. Well, I found a crowd picture, and I was going to see if you could pick yourself out in that crowd.
I cannot, and I don't see, because Bush Baked Beans was there, and they gave away these bucket hats that had baked beans all over them. So, yeah, there were probably 3,000 people in the crowd with these Bush Baked Bean hats on. But yeah, I mean, it was the crowd was, you could tell there's this great mix. So it's the people that live there in Brooklyn, and they've come down in shorts and tank tops. They probably walk from their apartment. They're going to the beach afterwards, that kind of thing. They just stop. And then you had the people that had come in, idiots like us that had driven in for 2 hours from somewhere from all over the country to be a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you had those people from New York that were dressed a little better and, supermodel-ish and good looking, that sort of, you're out of place here and expensive. I remember running in 2 or 3 groups of people like that. I'm like, y'all are out of place here. But yeah, it was fantastic. I mean, the crowd, there's a whole hour of before game. So we thought it started at noon. We got there at 11:45. Someone sings the national anthem. They had the guy that drank the lemonade. He drank a gallon and a half of lemonade in a minute, and he was trying to go for 2 gallons, but he couldn't do it. And so they applaud him.
Yeah.
And then they had some other people come up, and they did stuff, and they did only in New York. Only would you have that. They had someone come up and sing a Broadway musical tune, and then something else, and then there was some opera, and then it kept going on like that. Just this sort, and then they start introducing the people, and that was a good 15 minutes.
So you missed the women's contest?
I missed the women. That was at 10 something.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't realize, when you're looking at things on the schedule, I didn't realize that the women were that much earlier, or we would have probably tried to get there for that.
Well, during the show, when they do the show for the men, they show the women's contest, on a tape delay sort of thing.
Had to, because it was at I think 9:30 or 9:45. So it was a good 2.5 hours before the men took the stage. But yeah, they had people from, as they go down the list, or somebody from the Czech Republic. There was, someone from Japanese, but their totals, they're giving their totals, and he's eating 36 hot dogs, and this person's eating. And I'm like, Chestnut's going to crush him. This is his vengeance tour. He's got something to prove. And they had the people behind him. You saw it on the film with the, flipping the flaps over, right?
Yeah.
And keeping the count. And so I've got pretty good vision. So I'm up there with all these people, and I'm going, there's Chestnut 20. No, now it's 22. Oh, no, 24. And the announcer wasn't keeping up. The announcer was go 20. There's a little bit of delay, and people are like, what are you looking at? And I said, over their heads. And like one other guy could see it, but everybody started kind of packing around me as I'm going, all right, Chestnut's at 42 and the other guy's at 26. Yeah, but you could just tell when it started that he wasn't even going to make it close. And if you watch it, those first 2 or 3 minutes, everybody in the crowd shouting, Joey, Joey, Joey. And there were, I think at the height of it, probably 25,000. It was like it was as thick around there as it was the night, the biggest band that ever performed at Riverbend, and everybody around in the main street right there just packed solid, and then down in the grass. It was like, it had that feel. I mean, there were a good 25,000 people there, because when it ended, everybody went into the amusement park and then onto the boardwalk. There's this crush of humanity. And that's when
Well-
we doubled back and actually went to Nathan's and had a couple of hot dogs.
I was going to just
Um,
ask you, could you get into Nathan's and get a
Yeah,
hot
well,
dog?
you had to wait a little bit, but
Uh-huh.
yeah, and that hot dog is when you were talking about on the grill, because I grill mine as well, and you were talking about the steam. I use like an aluminum pan,
Yeah.
just to put over the top of it with those real thin
Mhm.
ones you get to, and spray a little water in there to finish them off and get that steam to it. But
Yeah.
that hot dog was really good. It had the casing had a great crisp to it, had a snap all the way down. Every bite you took of that hot dog had a good snap, good crisp, and it was, yeah, it had that good grill flavor to it. Good stuff. I can see why they are what they are.
Were you a Major League Eating fan before this? Did you
Oh yeah, I've
follow
always
them at
thought it was
all? Or
always thought it was fascinating. Realized early, I guess, in college that I couldn't do volume. I can eat fast. We used to go to. I'd have people challenge me. I remember Tony Miller challenged me. We went down to Taco Bell, and he's like, "I can eat faster. You can't snooze again." And so I made him pay for every round. And so I just barely beat him like the first 3 rounds, like we were eating bean burritos. And by the 4th one, I'm stuffed. And I said, all right, one more time. He said, oh, I'm going to get you this time. And then I just went as fast as I could on that one. And he wasn't halfway through. And he goes, you've been sandbagging me in the other. And I said, yeah, I got 4 burritos out of you. I said, so yeah, I'm a speed eater. So I've always been fascinated by the guys, but I don't have a huge stomach. I can't eat 30. I couldn't eat 20 of something. I think the most I ever ate of a Crystal was 9, and
that's pretty strong.
And I paid for that for 2
Yeah, no kidding.
days.
Did you go down to UTC to the pavilion when Kobayashi was here during the crystal eating contest?
No, I didn't. I had done a Crystal thing at Ingle Stadium,
Mm-hmm.
not at Ingle, at AT&T. Had done got to be one of the contestants there, and I realized you have to keep track of your empties because the guy next to me took one of my empties or 2 of my empties, and then I ended up being in a head-to-head with him, and I lost that. And I was like, but yeah, I wouldn't have gotten much past 10 if I'd done it.
Last year there was a controversy last year with Nick Weary. He's the guy with the mohawk that dyes it. Really, really a nice guy, and he's married to Mickey Sudo, the girl that won the women's competition.
Yep.
And last year there was a controversy on how many he ate. Somebody accused him of stealing a plate because they have to count the plates.
Yeah.
And he didn't do that. And but it was they always had to try to find some controversy because of course last year Joey wasn't there. And our buddy Pat won it last year, and he was second this year. What did you think about? Had you ever seen George Shea, the guy that introduces them? He is the president of or the CEO of Major League Eating. He's the guy that introduces everybody. What did you think about him?
This was the guy doing the commentary, right?
Yeah, no, that's Rich. The guy doing the commentary is his brother Rich. And he was doing it with Shapp. What's his first name? Jeremy. Jeremy Shapp was doing it for ESPN.
This wasn't Shapp. So whoever this guy was, he sounded like a radio DJ.
Yeah,
But
that was Rich Shea. But his brother George is the guy with the straw hat, and he does all the honking.
Brings him in. The guy announcing was brilliant, and he reminded me of like a beatnik poet. He would talk about someone. I remember one of his lines was, he introduced one guy and he goes, "This is the epitome of evil."
Yeah.
He would be in jail in hell. This guy, but he was just constantly going on and had these just incredible, beautiful word pictures he was painting of the event and how things were going, and just never at a loss for words and these brilliant allusions and things like that. And I was like, God, this guy, he's missing a trick. He needs to be on stage somewhere doing this every night. He was fantastic.
Well, they stumbled upon the hot dog eating contest in the late 80s when it was nothing. they've been doing it since 1916, but it was always just a very small event.
Yeah.
And George and his brother just stumbled upon this thing when they got out of school, and I want to say they went to Cornell, but I'm not. Don't quote me on that. But they went to a pretty big, prestigious type
One
of
of the
university.
Ivies.
They're smart guys. They're smart guys, and George saw this, and he said, "This could be so much bigger," and he talked them into letting him, kind of run it, and then they started one governing body that morphed into Major League Eating, and they go all over the United States, all over the U.S. doing eating contests, and of course Joey does several of them, and each one has their favorites, but Joey Chestnut was just in Knoxville about 2 months ago. Dead End Barbecue up there on Sutherland Avenue did a smoked bologna eating contest, and Joey was there, and he won that one.
Yeah,
So,
I don't know how they do it. I couldn't get past the putting the bread in water. I would be out. That would be the one where I'm out. I could maybe eat 20 hot dogs, but I could not eat the buns wet and eat that. I don't know how anybody does it.
These guys do stuff like blueberries. I think Pat, after he won it last year, went to a blueberry contest, and he did like 13 or 14 pounds of blueberries. Now, how do you eat that many blueberries? I don't know.
I'm still trying to convince myself that I could drink a gallon of whole milk in a small time frame. And I still think that I wouldn't make it. But yeah, if anything over about 1.5 pounds or 2 pounds of anything, I just, again, speed over quantity.
The guy that stands, each competitor has a person that stands in front of them and counts for them as they're eating. And the guy that does Joey Chestnut's name is Pat LaFrida. And you being in the restaurant business, you may have heard of him. He used to have a reality show, I think, on Discovery. He owns a huge wholesale meat company in New Jersey, and he furnishes everybody who's anybody in New York with their beef steaks. Sure. He has a huge aged beef inventory that he sends to people, and he is Joey's not mentor, but kind of like the game in-game coach.
Yeah,
and,
he's a corner man. That's
he's
perfect.
Cuss. Perfect explanation. He's Joey's corner guy.
He's Cuss Amata.
And that's just he was on a show a couple months ago, and I was listening to it, and he just kind of announced that he goes, "Oh, I'm Joey's guy." And we were like, wow, that's unbelievable. And because he's a real nice fellow. But what was it when it started there? Is everybody kind of, are they honed into the competition, or are they just honed in just being there?
I think it's a little of both, because there's a certain point in the street where you can't really see the stage, but then the big screen TV's there. But yeah, when it got, because it gets that lull in the middle when it's obvious that Chestnut's going to win, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because he's got a 15 or 20 dog lead, and everybody kind of mills a little bit, and then it gets down to that last little bit. Is he going to break the 76 mark? And so the crowd's back in it. But yeah, that whole chanting, Joey, Joey, Joe. I mean, there was full crowd engagement several times during that 10 minutes. And then after the end, everybody's, he's holding up the belt, and they're all, all that stuff. It was a good, again, 20,000 people there to celebrate this truly American event that happens on the 4th of July. So yeah, it's something on my bucket list. I'm glad that I'm there. I don't know that I need to go back next year, but it might be fun to be in the grandstands. It might be fun to be close to it, but I don't know that I want to spend 6 hours.
You know, Hoppy,
You know,
spending a Sunday afternoon at Augusta National, and then doing the Nathan's hot dog. That's a pretty good year. That's a pretty
yeah, I
good
was going
year
to
right there.
a good year to retire, and
Yeah.
I think I ate 6 pimento cheese sandwiches at Augusta, so I was
Are they
trying to
still
set the
$1?
record there.
Are they still $1?
250, I think.
250.
And the
They're not
beers were
much. I know they're not much.
5. I think the beers were 5.
Yeah.
Lemonade was 3. I can't remember. It was a good day all the way
If
around.
you can get your family in there, it's a cheap place to eat.
Yeah, that's just it.
Yeah, it costs you 15 grand to get in, but you can eat for $10.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the tickets, you looking on one of the scout sites, a pair of tickets for Sunday were $11,000 a piece, and you couldn't find any for sale. I mean, that was just it. They were not.
Yeah.
Augusta's been
face
they've been
value, they're
cracking
not very
down
expensive,
lately.
really.
They've been cracking down on the resale, and so you don't find that many people willing to take a chance anymore and get rid of them.
If did you watch any at the end? Did you watch the competitor? What I've always wanted to see is what the competitors do to kind of come down, because they're all full. It doesn't matter which one, each one has eaten to their full capacity, whether it be 70 hot dogs, whether it be 46, whether it be 13. They're all full. I just was wondering if you ever did any of them seem like they were sick or
they've got a big
hurting?
privacy. I mean, there's a privacy area for them. So I mean, they're not in the crowd unless they want to be.
Yeah.
They're I was going to say they're up on the stage, and then there's barriers there to the sidewalk, and then there's barriers on the other side of the sidewalk, and then there's the grandstands across. So yeah, I mean, there's 2 or 3 layers of physical barrier between them and the crowd. And then they go back up the stairs into, probably whatever's up above Nathan's, that area up there. There's some sort of green room, but I don't remember seeing any of the contestants because we looped around. We went down by the Wonder Wheel and then looped back up, coming up against the crowd as they're heading to the beach, and just kind of looking to see what we could see, and we didn't see any of the contestants. So I don't know how they detox them or decompress them or what they do. But yeah, they're not out.
How big is this Nathan's restaurant?
Oh, it's a half block.
Is it is it an open air thing where you walk in, or?
Yeah, so there's like 3 different, it's probably 40 to 50 feet across. You've got 3 different areas where you order. And then there's also, so if you're just getting the hot dogs here, and then the other stuff they sell are in different lines. And then you go to, if I'm facing the building, on the left is where the contestants were, and that's probably a parking lot when they're not using it. And then on the right-hand side, they've got tables and tents and coverings and things like that for people to sit and eat.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have automated kiosks there. So you can order at the automated kiosk, or you can stand in line for the hot dogs. My wife got in line and I got in the kiosk, and she beat me. So the kiosk line moves slower than the people line, probably 2 to 1. But yeah, there's trying to think, there were probably 100 or so people sitting outside in that outside dining area. And then from the counter to the front of the building is maybe 10 to 15 feet by the width of the building, 50. So that's open air covered, that I'm sure they have roll down doors when they're closed.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, they're used to being open in the summer when there's a lot of heat and people want the shade because they're underneath with fans going and all that stuff. And then I have no idea how big that kitchen area is, how far back it goes. And I mean, I assume they've got walk-in coolers for miles back behind there to take care of the buns and the hot dogs alone. But yeah, it's a well organized, well run. It's obvious a place that has over the years made the small changes to accommodate how things change, which how good restaurants do.
Yeah. Hey, you're watching the Owl's Nest Barbecue Catch-Up Show with our special guest, Mark Hopkins, here in Chattanooga, Tennessee. We're going to be right back after this break. Stay with us.
This is Ned. He is the proud owner of a pit barrel cooker. Ned, tell us what you like about it the most.
It's an excitement every time you use it.
Excitement.
Excitement. It's every time. I put a roast in there. My wife loved it. 3.5 pounds. Let's see, I've had steaks in it, cooked chicken in it, hang the birds in there, hung steaks, hot dogs, put some seasoning on them, and just hung them up with your little hangers here.
Yeah.
And just hung them up in there for about, I don't know, a half hour, 45 minutes. Came out nice and juicy and tender.
Hey, this is Steve Ray at Owl's Nest Barbecue Supply here in Ooltewah, Tennessee. The Green Mountain Grill Smoker Grill, the best pellet cooker on the market. Come on over, let me show you. A big hopper. It'll hold 18 to 20 pounds of pellets. Thick gauged metal. It won't rust. It will last you for years and years and years. The shelf, right up in the front. Handy. The Green Mountain Grill pellet smokers. The best grill for your money right here at Owl's Nest Barbecue Supply in Ooltewah.
I'm the king around here, but don't call me no dirt. I'm the king around here, no good what you said. I'm the king around here, but don't call me no dirt. I'm the king around here. I felt good desire.
All right, we're back. The Owl's Nest Barbecue Catch-Up Show. I'm Steve. That's Pete. Our special guest is Hoppy from the, what is it, Hoppy's North River Market? Or
North River Corner Market.
North River Corner Market.
And I just sent you two pictures. I just sent you 2 pictures I took. If you have any way of putting them up,
I don't.
that'll give you an idea of the crowd.
But oh wow, I'm watching. And
Yeah,
that's a bunch of people.
Corner of Bell and Spears, and down there in the middle of what we
How old is that building?
1940ish.
Wow.
So it's been my best count in talking to people is there's been technically 4 owners. I'm the 5th one, and each of them's had it for about 20 years. So 40 to 60s, 60s to 80s, 80s to 2000, and Fedora had it, 2000, 2020. So hopefully that means I'm going to live to be, I don't know, 70 something, 79, 80, somewhere around there.
What did you do between the Stone Lion and your current?
I had one place in St. Elmo for 2 years, and then
What was it called?
Hoppy's Last Resort,
Okay.
which we thought it was going to be. And then bounced around. I mean, I worked for, I decided it'd be nice to work for someone besides myself and see how that world functions. And, I did everything from selling tires for Corky Coker to being in lower management at Amazon. So I went from one extreme to the other, and then decided, no, it's time to get back into what's in your blood. It's kind of like the mafia. You're never really out. Once you've been in the restaurant business, you're always going to be in it in some way, shape, or form.
Pete, when we went down there, Hoppy has you've got the perfect place for a hot dog eating contest. Doesn't he, Pete? Right there at that corner, we could close down one of those streets.
Go down side. All right, I'll look into it. Not a bad.
And, how cool would that be?
Do a
Big
local
street
They
fair.
got a little parking area right outside there behind it, right? Too.
That's right.
Is
Got parking to the side and a patio out back. We could work something out. I'll see what it's going to take to sponsor one.
That would be a really a cool place for a contest. Pete and I like to put these little contests on. Like September the 6th, we're going to have a chicken wing contest at the store in Ooltewah at the gas station.
So on the wings, do you weigh it? You weigh it before and weigh weigh it
No,
after?
no. We don't eat them. We cook them, and then we have judges. They judge the wings.
Oh, you're not doing. Okay, you're not doing a.
No, we're not doing. No, we're not doing a. We don't do eating contests. We do cooking for judges.
Ah,
There's it's a lot of fun. There's a bunch of guys called. Have you seen Chatted Up Sports? Those guys that have got a podcast here in town.
I don't not.
You got to look them up. They're really good.
I'll look them up. Chat them up
There's-
sports.
Yeah, there's 5 or 6 of them in there, Pete.
Yeah, young guys.
Yeah, young guys, they're really funny, and they know sports, and they do commentary, and they're really good. And they've judged our last 2 contests. Matter of fact, Jim judged our last one too. And we're going to do a chicken wing contest, and we're going to have 2 divisions. We're going to have like a north and a south, or a east and west, whatever. And the winner from each division we're going to have a steak cook-off to determine the master champion.
Yeah.
And they're a lot of fun. They're well attended, and we'll have to get you out there and let you be a judge.
I would be glad to do it. I am a big fan of the wing. My wife likes the flats, and I like the drumsticks, so we get along well.
I like the flats too. Pete's a drummy guy. Do you do wings at your place?
I started to. I've messed with them a little bit. I only have 1 fryer, so it's really difficult to. I think to do wings properly, you've got to have 2 fryers, one for your fries and one for your wings, because they degrade that oil so quickly.
Yeah. Do you do hot dogs down there too?
Yeah. Now hot dogs I do, and you were talking about flat grill. A lot of people are getting those Blackstones, and I've had a couple people come in and ask me different things about, how I do this, that, or the other. And to all your people out there, if you're getting a Blackstone, I recommend you get some grill weights, because there's, your burgers are going to cup on a flat grill unless you're putting a little weight on top of them. And I don't mean smash all the juice out. When I cook my burgers, I smash them, I press them out once when I first put them on the grill, and I don't do it again, but I leave grill weights on top of them while they cook. It helps make it an even cook. And then same thing with bacon. You want some fantastic bacon, you cook it with a grill weight, because it cooks all the way through. If you like your bacon undercooked with areas that aren't really cooked at all, then just throw it on the grill and let it curl up and wrinkle up. But if you like that fat on that bacon to render, you got to do it with a grill weight. And you sell those, don't you? Yeah.
Steve sells the ones for burgers and stuff.
Yeah, I've got the things you use for smash burgers, but you can use them as a weight too.
Yeah, I mean, I've got 2 that are probably 8 by 12 flat square ones, and then I've got a couple of smaller ones that'll do a burger, do 2 burgers. But yeah, I highly recommend them, and I've cooked on flat grills now for a good 10 or 15 years.
John Harrison just chimed in. He said Chestnut holds 55 eating records, including 141 hard-boiled eggs in 8 minutes, 121 Twinkies in 6 minutes. John, I appreciate that. That's a good little trivia.
Hard-boiled eggs.
Yeah.
I think we have all watched Cool Hand Luke, and
That's exactly what I was fixing to say. Yeah. Love that show.
50 is a nice round number, and I just remember Paul Newman, that extended belly, and I'm like, I don't know how he did that.
He probably ate a bunch of eggs to get that look.
Yeah, or
do you think you'd go back to Coney Island to watch it again?
Yeah, it was a fun enough day, and we didn't stay for the fireworks. And so I think if I went again, I would definitely take the train, so I didn't have to worry about either one of us driving back.
Yeah,
and enjoy the entire of the day and stay out there for the fireworks, and then take the train back. But yeah, it's you can stay anywhere up there in New York, and the train. I mean, the train literally drops you a block from Nathan's, a block and a half. And yeah, I would. We might be back up there next year. I don't know.
Oh man, that sounds like a good trip. What's the beach like up there? Is it a nice beach?
Yeah, and it's not quite as wide as Miami Beach. You know how much space there is in Miami Beach from from the boulevard, and then you've got the sand area, and then the restroom and stuff. And then you've got the beach itself. But that area right there outside of Brooklyn, you've got about a 40 to 50 foot wide boardwalk, and then you've got at least 100 feet of sand to the water.
Wow.
So I mean, when you look at pictures of people out there on the beach in Brooklyn, and you think that's a lot of people, that beach is incredibly wide. It's not like, it's almost like Daytona. I mean, Daytona's got a really wide beach. It's closer to Daytona than any place else I've seen up north, because most of them up north are shallow. They're shallow beaches and they're steep. And this thing is wide. I can understand why it's a popular destination and why they built that amusement park there.
Do you remember Billy Holland? Billy says he used to throw darts with you.
Yeah, I do.
Yep.
We're putting up an outside board down there at the market. I don't have any space inside, but we're going to have one dart board outside. We're going to see how that goes.
Well, that sounds like fun. Hoppy, thank you so much.
Hey guys, had a great time.
Hey, we do a little thing. I know you probably never watched the show before. We do a little thing here at the end where we talk about we've got a Facebook page called the Owl's Nest Barbecue Nation, and people will send in pictures of their food, and we show it and talk about it. Would you like to join us doing that?
A little food porn, sure. I'm a food porn
absolutely.
fan.
All right, we'll get going here. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Our special guest is Mark Hopkins, affectionately known as Hoppy here in town. We'll start off today with Perry Collins. This was Perry's brother-in-law, Skip Arp. Those are 3 meatloafs, Pete.
Yeah.
And a big old pan of beans.
I love meatloaf.
You can't beat. You
Mm-mm.
can't. Do you do meatloaf? You do meatloaf, Hoppy?
I do not, but I do love it. I'm one of those people, I may not be alone in this, but I don't like it when first day it's cooked. I like it day number 2, meatloaf sandwiches, and I can eat those all day long.
White bread, mayonnaise, and a tomato.
You know it.
Here is a brisket from SR Barbecue, featuring our buddy Randy Callahan from SR Barbecue. The R in SR Barbecue, Randy, our buddy, and his friend Steve Davidson. We always forget to mention Randy. He is the R, Pete, in SR Barbecue.
I'm familiar with that.
Yeah, and there's a brisket that they did. And also
good bark.
It looks good. It looks good. And here is some pork chops that they did. It looks like that they here's what they looked like before they started. Looks like they got a pork loin and just cut those out of the pork loin. And
grill grates.
Yeah, absolutely. And put those on the grill grate. Look at those flavor stripes on there.
Yep.
That's some good eating right there. Let's see what's over here. There's a pork butt. Looks like they cooked that on the Lang, doesn't it, Pete? It's got a real nice dark dark bark on it. Looks absolutely just wonderful. Do you have a smoker there, Hoppy?
No,
and fast enough.
Yeah, it's always one of those things. Everybody has those things. You're like, yeah, I'm good. That's the next thing I'm going to learn how to do. And I think I started saying that when I was 35, and I'm 62 now. And my dad comes up and gets stuff from me every now and then for his. He's always been the person in the family that smoked. He had a green egg back before anybody else had one.
Yeah.
And then he broke it. And then he epoxied it back together because he was so sad that he'd broken it. And so there's no telling what toxins we got for years from the epoxy smoke in the egg. But yeah, he's always been the grill guy. He's always been the grill and the smoker guy, and I didn't want to step on his toes, so I became the flat grill guy, and it has worked out well.
It's hard to do both. Let me tell you, it's hard to do both.
Now I did see. Have you seen the guy that turned a four drawer steel file cabinet into a smoker?
I've seen those. Yeah, I've seen them.
Yeah,
I haven't seen them.
Each drawer had something, and
Yeah.
and he's opening it from the top, and then by the time he gets to the bottom, he hadn't thought about it, and he grabs hold of that handle and burns his hand, and
Yeah.
somebody hands him a glove. But yeah, I love the ingenuity of people that want to smoke and cook and will use anything they can find to create.
Refrigerators are big smokers too. People will.
Now, yeah, I had a chef in town at Perry's. He used to smoke his salmon in an old Norge
Yeah.
refrigerator. That was his. They had that locking door and piped it, and he did it in his
Yep.
apartment. Piped
Yep.
it,
Piped
piped
it
it out
out.
onto the balcony of his apartment.
Let's see. Those were there's Steve and Randy did some. There's some sausage on the grill grates. They did a turkey
Ooh,
too.
a turkey.
Yeah, that's a good looking turkey. That's perfect color, fellas. Good job. And here's my favorite right there, Hoppy. It's
Ooh,
not
there we go.
turned right. There's some good chicken wings.
Now we're talking.
Now Pete and I will do chicken wings for the first for the Tennessee Syracuse game down in Atlanta. We'll do a big chicken wing sale that Saturday. You'll have to come out. That's a lot of fun. We've got we'll smoke them first and we'll finish them off. We got a big hog cooker and we'll finish them off on that hog cooker. Crank up the temperature for them.
Now, do you
And,
ever go from one to the other, like a fryer to a slow cooker?
We actually on these we went from a smoker to a kind of a char grill, which was actually our hog cooker, Steve's hog cooker. But we had it set up with charcoal and grill grates. So we smoked them, took them off there, and crisped them up on grill grates.
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
they turned out fantastic that way.
That was always the stuff when I was messing with them. I was trying to do them in a crock pot and then fry them, or fry them and then crock pot them with a barbecue sauce or some sort of sauce on 'em and see what kind of different. And I never quite mastered it. Never quite got what I wanted out of it.
The
I
best
love it though when it
wings-
comes off the bone.
The best wings, I think. We've got a vendor named Hey Grill Hey, and she has a kit where you actually smoke the wings or grill them until they're almost done, and then put them in batter, and then finish them off in a fryer,
Ooh.
and or finish in a pan. You fry them,
Yeah, yeah.
and then you mix it up with a glaze that she's got. And Pete, that's the best wing you'll ever eat. That's a
Yeah, because
great.
the meat's really tender and moist,
Yep.
and the cartilage and everything is coming off that bone. But then you've got that grace crisp that you want. That does sound really good.
They sell
That's
a
what
wing
I
like
look for
that
in
at
a wing.
1885. I don't know, Steve, if you've ever tried them, but they're the same way. That's how they make them.
Yeah.
And then it's got that sweet kind of, and it's really crispy, but sweet yet sticky flight, on them. They're good.
I know the guy that invented that. It was first name was Charlie. He was a chef. He was on one of the Food Network shows. He used to be here in Chattanooga over at the some restaurant on the south side. I can't believe I can't remember Charlie's life. You probably know him, Hoppy.
Was he at what was the one that was in the old meat packing plant? Remember?
Yeah, is that what that
Cowart
um
on Cowart Street?
this one he worked at was on Main Street. It's the one that used to be the feed store. It has a safe in one of the dining rooms. It was I think it was a feed.
The feed. There's one called the Feed down there.
The
and then
feed.
there's
That's what it's called. The feed.
Yeah.
Uh,
yeah, I really like those guys. They come over. They'll come over now and then and get my burger and try to figure out how to make it.
yeah.
Which is the highest compliment. I appreciate every time they do it.
Billy Holland says he's got a file cabinet smoker. I have no doubt, Billy. I have no doubt. And Billy said the Hey Grill Hey kit. That's exactly what it is, Billy. But Charlie, he won the chicken wing contest down at the pavilion. God, I want to say 6 or 7 years in a row. I did it twice. I did it twice and came in second place to him both times. He's great. He's a great cook. And I think Pete, I think that's all of them. Oops, there we go. Let's see. Yeah, that's all we got. I put this picture on there for you.
There he is.
There's the man right there, Joey Chestnut himself. I figured
Yeah,
you recognize him.
I'm always amazed that these guys aren't 300 pounds.
Yeah. Oh, Joey's I think they're athletes. They train like athletes. They have their own little training, regiment they go through. They have a pre-game, getting ready and everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's a different kind of athlete, but I think they qualify. As
Oh yeah,
athlete.
I would think you would have to work out like a fiend to burn all those calories.
But,
That's a huge caloric intake.
When we were talking to Pat, he talked about how they spent a lot of time, right up before, because you have to basically you got to make your stomach stretch.
Yeah.
And it's got to be stretched and stretched. So I think he told Steve and I the night before the Nathan's contest last year, he came in and ate like 2 large pizzas or something the night before. And so I can't remember. That was just part of it, along with all the other stuff he ate. So he said you're constantly having to stretch it so that it can hold it.
Yeah. The only thing I worry about is like Pat Bertoletti, who we're talking about. He's been on the show a couple times. He was second. He won it last year because Joey wasn't in it. He was second this year, and he only had 46.
Yep.
He had 51 or 52 last year. And Joey had 70. So the distance between first and second is enormous. And there's really nobody challenging Joey Chestnut. Like Joey, when he came on the scene, Kobayashi was a guy, and Joey caught him and then passed him.
I remember that early rivalry with Kobayashi, and
it was a genuine rivalry. They didn't like each other. They smack talked to each other really good. But there's I worry a little bit about it because there's really nobody challenging Joey Chestnut. He's so far.
Yeah, because it when I was there, it became the race for second. That was what everybody was watching. At about the 6-minute mark.
Yeah,
everybody is focused on, and they were smart enough to put the people that they thought were going to be second and third and fourth all right there around Chestnut.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
That became the focus. And Chestnut was back there cruising, and those guys, that got really heated, and there were people, that crowd was into it. I mean, I sent you that picture. It was tight and packed, and it was a good time.
Hoppy, thank you so much.
Hey guys, anytime. Y'all have a great rest of the week.
You betcha.
And let me know about that wing judging. I'll do my best.
You're in. I'll sit you right next to Jim. I'll sit you right next to JR. See you, Hoppy. Take care. Mark Hopkins, the Corner Market up in North Chattanooga. Go by and see him on Spears Avenue. Great place. Pete and I went a couple months ago, and Pete, you're right. If I lived over there, that's where we'd meet every morning.
Oh, I'd hang out there every day
at the Corner Market. Everybody, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I appreciate it. Don't forget, coming up at 9:00 here on Facebook and on YouTube is the Barbecue Central show with Greg Rempe. So make sure you stay tuned for that. We're going to get out of here. We're going to be back at the gas station and the barbecue store tomorrow first thing. And we will see you there. Pete, there's just something about charcoal. You know what?
Hey, nothing like the smell, the taste, the flavor, everything about charcoal is amazing.